Okay, so here, video two. We're picking it up where we left off. So we have actually a functioning system here where we can move our snake head, if you like, around and make it pick up these berries or whatever, and everything is aligned on the grid. So what we need now is basically to start creating the tail thing and maybe a scoring system as well. So let's go ahead and doing the score thing. So I create a new variable. It'll be a global one. I'll call it score. And I need to set this to 0 at the start of the game. So I'll just go in here and say score set to 0. Good. And in my food section here, I'll just change score by 1 whenever I touch something. I'll just double click this there, so we have a nice little scoring icon there. I can move it up to the top there. So if I run the game now, you should see that whenever I touch this berry, I'll add a point to my score. So that's great. That's exactly what I want. Now let's add some sound to this because that will highlight some issues. So I'll start out by my snake, and I'll go to sound, and I'll find a sound. There's this pop sound that's very good. Just play that every time it moves. So basically, yeah, okay. So you can see we have an issue. It's just playing right off the bat, and that's not good. Maybe I should actually choose another sound because this is a bit annoying. Let's go in here. There's a lot of sounds. No, let's go all the way to the bottom here. See if we can find something. No, too much. No. Oh my God. Hmm. Let's see. Oh my God. No, I'll just stick with the one I got. Pop is fine. Maybe a little loud, but fine. I can live with this. Oh, anyway, so I want a sound when I choose some food or eat some food as well. So I go to the food, go to sounds, and I'll click on this choose a sound button here, and this one. That's good. I'll grab the bite one. So now I will be able to just add a sound here and say sound bite. So now I can go and eat some. There we go. So that works fine. But I need something that makes my game hold off until I sort of start it. And what I'll do is I will add a wait until. So I go in here and say wait until, and I'll plug it in here. So it'll actually hold off the game start as well. And these ones I can just move over just because I don't need to see them right now. So now I need to create something that will wait. And what I basically want is I want to wait until either my x direction or my y direction is not 0. So let's build the logic for this. So we have x direction, we have y direction, and we have some operators here. We'll say equals 0. Just duplicate here. So say y direction equals 0, and x direction equals 0. And if we go so if both of these are 0, I should not start the game. But if they are not both 0, I should start the game. So here we go. So I can start the game now. It'll just be ready, and once I hit a button, it will start. So actually, after trying this, I think that I need to put this after the broadcast because, as you can see, once I press the button, my food will relocate. Sorry, I just need to. There we go. So it'll relocate, and that's not the idea. So I need to just plug that there and pull that out and put that back in and plug that in between there. So now I know where my food is located, and I can start moving after it. And that's good. So all is well. Now I need to set up my tail system. And the tail system is an interesting thing. I'll add a new variable, and that new variable will be my step counter. This counts the clicks or the steps in my game since I started. So I'll change step counter each time I move. But I need to set my step counter to 0 every time. So I go step counter up here, set that to 0. Good. So as you can see, once the game starts, it will start counting. So that's fine. So it's sort of like a clock. And what I want to do is that whenever I eat a piece of food, um, I gain a piece of tail. But the way I'm going to do this is that every time I move my head here, I will draw a tail just after it. So the way I can do this is I'm going to remember where I was before I move. So I need two variables, and I'll call these prev x, so previous x, and prev y, previous y. And these two variables I'm going to set up here. So I don't need to initialize these because they will always be initialized before I need them. So I just go in here and I'll duplicate this. I'll go prev x and prev y. And then I need to go to my motion, and at the bottom I have this x position and y position. And I'll put that in here. So basically it will remember where I was, and then I'll move myself, and then I will create a clone once I moved, and that clone will be of the snake tail. So if I run this, you'll see that the previous x and previous y will remember where I was, but no tails appear. And the reason is that I have the snake tail disabled. So if I turn it on, I will start getting snake tail spawns. But the problem is that they are just stuck on top of each other here. So that's not what I want. So I need to create some code on this. So I go to the snake tail, and I use the code called when I start as a clone. That will be the event that triggers everything. And the first thing I'll do is I will go to previous x, previous y. There we go, previous x, previous y. And I'll actually turn these off because I don't need them. And then I will show myself. Like so, because I start out being hidden. So if I run it now, you should see me basically drawing a long tail, and it keeps drawing. That's all good. But what I wanted to do is basically keep track of my score and make sure that my tail works with that. And the way that's going to work is that we're going to use a local variable. So I go to variables, and I create a variable. I have to make sure that the snake tail is selected. And I go to variables and make variable, and I set it for this sprite only. And I call this birth step. Okay, so when I create this, you can see that this looks a little special. It's because this variable is specific to each instance of a clone. So if I choose one of the other ones, you can see that the variable disappears over here. It's only available in my snake tail. So what I'll do is I'll set birth step to the value of step counter when it gets spawned. And then I'll insert a wait until after my show. And what I'll wait for is that, and I'll use larger than, because that makes sure that I get one piece of tail always. I want my step counter to be larger than the sum of score and birth step. So that means that if my score is 0, step counter has to be 1 bigger than birth step for a clone to be deleted. If my score is 1, it has to be 2, etc. So that will make sure that I always have at least one piece of snaketail, and with the score 1 I have 2, etc. What I have to do, what I'm waiting for is to delete this clone. So this clone will get deleted when it's older than score plus birth step. So let's see how that works. Oh, I need to turn this off. There we go. So there we go, and I'll start it. And you can see that I have one piece of tail, and as I eat one piece here, I'll get 2, and I'll get 3, and I get 4, etc. So now is the time that we need to sort of take unfortunate events into account. We need to take care of either us touching our tail or going over the side. So I'll just turn off the two variables, step counter and birth step, because I don't need to see these anymore. So on my snake, I need to create a new setup here. Right now I have forever. That will just run forever, even if I go over the side. I'll exchange that with an until. So I go repeat until here. And I'll just leave the forever over here because I need it in a second. There. And what I'll repeat until is until I either do one or the other. There. And one thing that can go wrong is that me touching the edge. Oh, I threw it away. There we go. Need it there. Okay. So me touching the edge. There. Or, actually, put it in there. Me touching snaketail. So if that happens, the game loop should terminate. So you can see if I run this now and I go over the side, the game stops, but nothing happens. So my game is basically hanging. And that's because I need to do something when it ends, and I can plug everything here. Let's just leave grid size outside because that's sort of a separate thing. There. So let's zoom out one. So this means that once the game stops, it'll restart. So if I run over the side, it'll be ready for a new game. But note that I have an issue. I'm actually building up tails over there. So if I'm running around here, it's because there they start to disappear. That's because they have like an expiration date. But since I reset step counter to 0 whenever I start the game, they need to go away. So I need to create a new event. So I go to here and put a broadcast in here, and this broadcast will be a new one called game over. And this game over event will be well received by the snaketail. So when it receives game over, it will delete this clone. There we go. So let's go. So if I just go over here, that's all good and everything is fine. And I'll grab this one, and as I go over the edge, it resets and it's ready for a new one. So all is well. All is well. Maybe I need a little call out. So down here I can go to looks, and I create a call out here just before it creates the game over thing, and it should just call out game over. There we go. And maybe it should also call out the score, like so. And then it'll do the game over thing and reset. So as you can see, I will just go over here. And let's see if we can die by hitting our own tail this time. There we go. And then the game is ready again. So that's good. Maybe I need a death sound, so let's make one. Just put in the pop sound, but instead I'll click the record. And I need to make a sound, so I'll just go. Yeah, good. I'm really a good voice actor. Amazing. I don't understand how Hollywood didn't uh, discover me long ago. Anyway, let's put that in here. So start this one. I should actually give it like a nice name, like yeah, like so. And you can see that it'll know that that's the name over here. So if I run it now, yeah, that's good. So that's basically the game. Um, Obviously, we could think of a lot of enhancements for it. We could do like levels. So if we reach more than a certain number of tail segments, we would go to a new level where things were harder in somewhere. It could be faster. Oh yeah, we should make it faster. We'll add one thing. There could be like obstacles. It could also be a two-player game where two players are trying to trap each other, like in Light Cycles from Tron. There's a lot of things. But actually, let's just add difficulty. The difficulty parameter here is the weight here. So if I set that to 0, this will be really difficult, as you can see. So this one is the one I should work with. So I'll create yet another variable. And this one I'll call move delay. Move delay. And 0.2 was sort of a good value to start out. So I'll put it up here. And I'll go move delay. And I'll set it to 0.2. There we go. And I'll use that variable down here in the weight. So that basically means the game runs the same. But what I need to do is on the food, when I score, I need to change move delay to move delay multiplied by 0.9. So if you multiply something by 0.9, you remove 10%. So that means that it'll get smaller. So it will be 1.8, and then it will be 1.62, etc. So it gets smaller and smaller. So let's see how that works. Yeah, okay, it gets difficult. So that's another thing you can add there to make it interesting. Let's see. Oh, we're already over the time limit. Um, we could do a lot of other things to this to make it more interesting, but this is basically the way to go about it. Levels, maybe an intro screen and things like that. But I'll leave it at this for now. Um, so what's next? I could see myself doing like a Space Invaders game. I've done that in Unity before, so it could be fun to do it here. Maybe a breakout style Pong game, um, maybe some sort of a racing game, um, Pac-Man type thing. I don't know. You can write it in a comment below and suggest what you would like to see. But I think that rounds it up for this. It could also You can also suggest that you want to see like improvements to this, how to do some things. There was one thing we didn't cover here is that my berries can actually spawn on top of my tail, which can lead to certain issues. We could take care of that as well, fairly easily. But yeah, um, comment below and I'll take it from there. But thanks for watching. Bye.